The Loaded Radio in your face podcast.
Hey, it's Scott Penfold, and this is the latest edition of the Loaded Radio In Your Face podcast. And this week on the podcast, it's me and James Munky Shaffer, guitar player from Korn, as we sat down recently backstage and spoke about the band's recent tour with Stone Sour, and as well the passing of the late Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. Here's me and Munky from Korn.
Okay, now the Serenity of Suffering was released almost over a year ago, and I remember talking to Brian about a year ago when you guys were touring the album. What's the last year been like in the life of Korn, essentially since the release of the album?
It's been crazy.
Has it?
It's been a lot of touring, a lot of trying to get home to see our families in between tours. We've gone to South America. We took Ty.
We'll get to that. That'd be cool.
We took him. We went to Europe and did a tour over there already. We've been on the west coast of the United States. We're doing the east coast now, and we're just gonna finish this up in a week, get home to see our families, then head back to Europe.
Yeah. Wow. No, I mean, I think it's really cool too, because I think the last album really packed a real heavy punch, bringing Korn back to I think a lot of the original sort of like going back to issues. I'd say that kind of feel. Do you find that's been reflecting in the live shows and with the crowds, with everything like that?
I feel like there's been a sort of a reinsurgence of like engagement of our fans from back in the day.
Yeah, sure.
I think that the latest record sort of woke them up a little bit, like, oh wow, this is cool.
It did.
I think a lot of fans were waiting for this album from Korn for a while. But there's still always obviously more to come. I think us to experiment is always fun and always brings out something different in each one of us. It's been crazy. It's a crazy year.
Yeah. Well, I know having Brian back. Brian's been back for 2 albums now. How is it having Brian back? Is it like the old days, or is it like something new?
It's like the old days in the sense that we are the chemistry's even better.
Cool.
I mean, I think we're just having more fun too.
Yeah.
I mean, before it was like party and have fun, but this is like real, like, dads having fun.
Yeah, sure.
Because we're all family. We have families and kids, and we're in a different stage of our lives where we can kind of sit back and enjoy without having to indulge in the craziness.
Yeah. Ty Trujillo filling in for Fieldy in South America. But how did that come about, and what was that like?
The short story is that Jonathan and Fieldy ran into Robert and Ty in the airport in LA.
Okay.
And it was probably, I'm not sure, maybe January or something. And Fieldy at that point already knew that he had some family stuff coming up and that he was going to not be able to go. And of course, we didn't want to let our fans down and cancel the tour. So we were like, what are we going to do? So they bumped into Robert. Robert was like, hey man, have you seen my son play bass? And then I think the wheels in Fieldy's head started to turn at that point. He's like, he's really good. And then later he kind of approached me and Brian and we're like, man, what do you guys think about Ty playing bass for me in South America? And we're just like, he's 12, and then we watched some of his videos and we're like, wow, he's really good. And then I went to Robert's house, took my guitar, took my son actually, who had a blast rocking out.
So you guys jammed.
So we jammed, and after about 2 minutes of playing with him, I was like, this is going to be awesome. He's so good and talented, and I'm just like nailing every part, every bit. Like, I have to show him some little things, tricks that Fieldy does with the slap and the click and the kind of percussive stuff, but man, it was just, and then Robert came with him on the tour, and it was just a lot of fun. It was a lot of old stories being shared, and
I can imagine.
Because Robert and us go back to even before Korn was signed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, Robert sat in a session with us and helped us write the song Divine, which is on our first album.
Yeah, that's right. Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, so if you guys go back, and anybody, you can go back and listen to that song Divine. He helped us kind of structure it and make sense of it, because we had like a bunch of parts and stuff. At one point, we wanted him to produce the record, but then him and his band I think he was in Suicidal Tendencies at the time.
Or Infectious Grooves, one of the...
one of those, but they were about to hit the road.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, man, that would have been cool.
Would have been really rad, yeah.
But, you know, we had already kind of an ongoing relationship with Ross Robinson at that point.
Right.
So things work out for the best, you know.
No, certainly.
It's meant to be, so.
Yeah, it's still kind of a cool thing having Ty on the road.
It's really cool to still, and to have, to play that song, too, with Ty.
Yeah.
It was a trip.
That's kind of a full circle thing.
Mean, listen, Robert's on the side of the stage. He's got Ty's water and his T-shirt. He's like, hey, Ty, we got to get ready.
Yeah.
You know, he's going through the whole, like, this is what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
This is what you want to do for your career.
Yeah.
This is what you choose to do. This is the kind of, you know, you got to be, you got to stay healthy. You got to stay on top of your chops. And it was just really cool to see Robert over there, like, teching for his son. And you could see those moments of pride in his eyes as a father and a son. Just really something that I hope to experience with whatever my sons choose to do or whatever my kids choose to do. I hope to experience something like that with them one day.
Well, certainly, man. Certainly. That'd be very cool, too, to pass down the family business, you know, essentially, right?
Well, you know.
Now, what's going to be happening in the near future with you guys at Korn? Obviously, you said you're going to be going back on the road after spending some time with the family.
Yep.
I know it may be even too early. Has there been talk of a follow-up album yet?
We've been talking about doing a little bit of just figuring out schedule-wise.
Okay.
You know, I don't even know when and where a record will be made. But we just try to figure out what's 18 months, like, you know.
Yeah.
And see, got to sit down and kind of think this one through carefully.
Okay. So no riffs or anything as of yet at this point? Maybe nothing, just talk.
I mean, there's always riffs in the back of your head
and
stuff, and maybe recorded on our phones and little things like that, ideas, kind of direction. But as far as sitting down and to actually make a record, there's nothing on the books yet for that. Okay.
Now, as for the last question, the recent passing of Chester Bennington from Linkin Park. Did you know Chester? Were you friends with the guys? Like, what are your feelings on everything that happened?
Shock.
Yeah, I can imagine. Sure. Yeah.
Everybody was walking around in this cloud of just frustration and shock and sadness, and it was all these mixed emotions for still. It's still the residual effects of a roller coaster of emotions going around, because we knew him for a long time. All the guys in that band. I can't imagine what his family and his band must be going through.
Right.
And my heart and it sincerely goes out to him and his family. And their families, the whole band's families. Yeah. There's so many lives that are affected by this. So
did it kind of blindside you? Like
it really did.
Yeah.
And you know, with someone that has for someone that has depression, you know, and if you look, I think there's a statistic on health.com where it shows musicians are number 5 in line to the most serious depression. And they turn to drugs and alcohol to kind of make that go away, but it only worsens.
I think radio personalities in there too as well. I think comedians.
Probably.
Yeah.
Comedians got to be up there.
They must be, I'm sure. Yeah.
But you know, one of those. It's those things that the drugs and alcohol never win.
No.
I mean, they always win. Sorry.
Yeah.
The person always fails.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's sad to lose Chris Cornell and Chester all within such a short period. It should have never happened, but it did.
Yeah.
But as a person that has, you know, depression in his life and has to maintain it, I have to make sure that I'm healthy, that I'm exercising, that I'm eating right, that I'm making sure to give myself enough time in the day to, you know, clear my head or meditate or get enough sleep. Those things can get off balance, and you can go into this downward cycle and spiral that can just be brutal and just keep hitting you over the head. A lot of it's just anxiety and you know, listening to your own thoughts. You got to step out of yourself and realize that's not the real you. But yeah, those things can, and hearing the news about that really had me, I could feel the gravitation of the depressive sort of, I could feel it pulling me into, you know, it's been really hard. It's been hard for the guys in this band to hear and process, and I can't imagine what's for him and his family and his band. So, yeah, my deepest, sincere condolences to him and his family and his band.
Certainly. Munky, thanks so much, man.
All right, a big thanks to James Munky Shaffer from Korn for sitting down with me backstage, and a great talk as always with the guys from Korn. Big thanks going out to Dean and Eric from Warner Music, and as well for you for tuning in. Don't forget, check out loadedradio.com for all your updated hard rock and metal news as well, our 24-hour stream, and we'll talk to you again next week.